Taranika, Akroan Veteran is like a really cool build around at Theros Beyond Death, and I haven't seen many decks around her yet, so I wanted to try to give one a shot. So for this week's Arena on a Budget, I'm playing a deck I call Taranika Vindicator. You're going to need 7 rares for this deck and no mythics. So Taranika herself is a legendary human soldier that costs 3 mana. She's a 3/3 with Vigilance, and she has the ability, whenever Taranika attacks, untap a target creature you control. Until the end of a turn, that creature gets base power and toughness 4/4 and gains indestructible. So this budget deck is kind of built around taking advantage of Taranika's ability to make any creature a 4/4. And specifically, one of the most powerful interactions I can think of with that in Standard is Swiftblade Vindicator. So Swiftblade Vindicator is a 2-mana 1/1 that has Double Strike, Vigilance, and Trample. So the combo, in quotation marks, is just attacking with both of these, attacking with Swiftblade Vindicator, attacking with Taranika. Taranika makes Swiftblade Vindicator a 4/4 indestructible, double striking, vigilance, trample creature. So that's 8 damage coming at your opponent's face, indestructible, with double strike and vigilance and trample. So really powerful 2-card combo there. So this is where we spend our budget of rares. 3 on Taranika, because she's legendary, we don't really want to run 4. And 4 on Swiftblade Vindicator, so 7 rares in all. And the rest of our deck basically goes with this same strategy. We have Ilseid of Life's Bounty to protect our 2 combo pieces, to protect our Swiftblade Vindicator, to protect our Taranika. Can just shut down some of our opponent's removal, or give our creature protection to swing in through their creatures and kill them. So just a good card all around. Fairy Guidemother, very good with Swiftblade Vindicator. We can make it a 3-power flying double striker, so just we can basically ding our opponent for 6 out of nowhere for pretty low mana cost. And also it's great for putting on our Taranika, so we can make our Taranika have flying, because sometimes, you know, if we attack in with a 3/3, you know, Taranika could just die. Sometimes it's still worth it just to, you know, if we're pumping up our Swiftblade Vindicator and getting it a ton of damage, sometimes it's worth throwing our Taranika away for that. But being able to give our Taranika evasion is really good. Rimrock Knight, again, great with Swiftblade Vindicator. We can make it a 3-power double striker for only 1 mana. Pretty good. And also it's just got some utility in being both a creature and a pump spell. Swiftblade Vindicator can also benefit off these pump spells, off of Rimrock Knight and Fairy Guidemother, and can put counters on our Swiftblade Vindicators, put counters on our Ilseids, put counters on our Ginger Brutes, which can also benefit from being turned into 4/4s by Taranika and also our pump spells. And that kind of, Ginger Brute kind of segues us into the second half of our deck, which is our enchantment strategy with All That Glitters. All That Glitters is really great to slap on a Swiftblade Vindicator, really great to slap on a Taranika to help us get through our combo, deal a ton of damage with Swiftblade Vindicator. And also it kind of suits naturally with our Elseids of Life Bounty. We can also slap it on our Ginger Brute to make a unblockable threat. We have Hero of the Next Born, which is an enchantment creature and also benefits off of all of our pump spells, able to kind of help us if we're going wide. If we've gone really wide, we can put a pump spell or a aura on our Hero of the Next Born and just pump all of our creatures. And we have an Escape Velocity as a 1-of, because this is a pretty powerful way. It's something we can reuse a lot out of our graveyard. We're not really using our graveyard for any other resource, so having one of these that we can get back over and over again, you know, if we get Wrath or whatever, and we top deck a Swiftblade Vindicator, the ability to Swiftblade Vindicator, put an Escape Velocity on it and attack for a lot of damage is nice. And it's also an enchantment to go with our All That Glitters. And then we have Pious Wayfarer. This is a pretty good 1-drop. Something we can put counters on with our Stalwart, something we can pump up with our Taranika, and also, you know, it benefits off of all these enchantments, these LCs, this Escape Velocity, this All That Glitters, these Hero of the Next Borns. You know, it allows us to pump up our Swiftblade Vindicators temporarily, or pump up our Taranika so it's not dying when we attack in with it. Yeah, there's a lot of utility we can do with there, and just having a 1-drop in an aggressive deck is also nice. And then finally we have Light Up the Stage just as a way to generate some card advantage, give the deck some resiliency, so it doesn't just die super hard to a removal spell. If our opponent just, you know, shocks our Swiftblade Vindicator, we're not just sort of like, well, crap. We have a bunch of pump spells and nothing to do with it. We can kind of dig our way back into the game with Light Up the Stages. And then for the lands, I am playing the rare lands that I have, but if you don't have these rare lands, you can play the tap lands. You can still play the deck for the most part. It is going to power it down a little bit, but just play as many rare lands as you've got. Play as many Sacred Foundries, as many Fable Passages as you've got, and elsewise just run tap lands. Then in the sideboard, we've got 3 copies of Red Cat Melee to deal with the red decks. Mono Red Aggro is a pretty good deck in the format right now. Shock, where Shock is a pretty good card, and we can bring it in where it's appropriate. Because our deck is sort of combo aggressive, instead of just straight aggro, Shock kind of needs some additional utility before we bring it in. If it can hit some creatures our opponents control, if we spot some like good creature targets for Shock, then we can probably bring it in. Possible Purifying Light's really good against any black deck. Unchained Berserker is pretty good against any white deck, and it's especially nice against Teferi. It's just it's weirdly hard for some Teferi-based decks to answer. Just to strike where it's appropriate, if our opponent has good targets for it. Banishing Light to deal with things like fires, and to deal with things like Wilderness Reclamation. And then one copy of Tibalt because, you know, Mono White Life Gain is actually seeing a lot of play, so having a sideboard card that really kind of craps on that deck would be funny. And also it's got some playability against, like, the cat decks, you know, that are gaining a bunch of life off of sacking the cat over and over again. So that pretty much covers Taranika Vindicator. I'm interested to play the deck because it kind of plays out like an aggro combo deck, right? It's kind of got the same you instantly lose funness of other All That Glitters decks, but also we've got that kind of repeatably with Taranika, Akroan Veteran. This combination of cards is just really strong, and having some versatility and light at the stage, and the ability to kind of diversify threats with Hero the Nyxborn, and protect our combo pieces with Ace-Lated, makes me think it's going to be a pretty fun deck to play, a deck that doesn't just fold to any interaction. So we're going to have a section at the end of the video where I talk about potential upgrades you can make to the deck. If you want to spend a few more wild cards, or if you already have the rares and mythics I talk about, you can just slot them in. But the deck should be playable as it is, and we're just going to jump into the games for now. So also, I am sick, so sorry if you can hear it in my voice. Apologies about that. But anyway, on to the games. Alright, playing some Taranika Vindicator against Nilanther, and we'll play first. Okay, alright. We don't really have the combo pieces, you know? We don't have like a Swiftblade Vindicator plus a good pump, but we do have a curve. We do have Aze-Lit into Vindicator into Hero, so if we draw some pump spells off the top, we should be in pretty good shape. Alright, Temple is kind of scary, makes me think they might... Okay. All the Glitters is not bad. So, we will Sacred Foundry, play Swiftblade Vindicator. Fast turn. So if we just All That Glitters here, plus Escape Velocity, yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. This, I mean, this is worse if they have a removal spell, right? So we're gonna do this and leave up the protection from Aze-Lit. And potentially this is bad if they have like a sweeper, if they have like Cry the Canarium or something. But I do think this is our best play. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, Thought Erasure we do not care about. I mean, taking our hero is a little sad, but we can still Escape Velocity on the Swift Vindicator next turn, which is going to pump its power by 2, which is 10. So, it doesn't... I mean, if we top deck like another enchantment off the top here, we just win. So, we're not too worried about it. Oh, even the best card we could have top decked. Wow. Alright, and that's our combo. That's our deck doing exactly what it wants to do. Hit our opponent for 20 on turn 4 with this Vindicator. My god. Okay. Well, there it is. Wow. Okay. So that's our deck in a nutshell. We just want to play a Swiftblade Vindicator, go off, put a bunch of counters on it, protect it with Aze-Lids, and yeah. Our opponent was just a little bit too slow. They tapped out on turn 3 and died for it. You know, typical standard fare. Let's see. So our opponent is on, look like Grixis Control, which we probably bring in the Apostles against, I guess. Probably most of the removal is black. They're probably running that Red Wrath, though. And they might be like a Fires deck, so it could be that we want to bring in the Banishing Lights, but that's pretty speculative. I think we go up the Apostles. Hopefully they're not running the Red Wrath. If they are, the Apostles are significantly worse. But if they're not, then most of the removal should be black, which should be good. I think we go down... Go down a... maybe a couple Ginger Brutes and one of the Heroes, and run it like that. Alright, game 2 against Nilanther. Nah, I can't keep this one. Well, this game is looking worse. Yeah, we'll go down Taranika and Vindicator. Yeah, we're probably not winning this one. We just went into too many lands, into no lands, into one land. Like, that's just... I mean, I guess we do have Pious Wayfarer and the double Aze-Lit, right? That's gonna win a game of Magic for sure. Ugh. Alright, Aze-Lit. Alright. Sure. Play the Aze-Lits. Really, we're just hoping for a red source so we can light up the stage and try to dig ourselves out of this mulligan. Ugh. Yeah, this is just brutal. It's one thing to have to mulligan, but to mulligan into basically an unplayable hand. Mulligan twice into a basically unplayable hand. That's a rough place to be. Opponent. Noxious Craftsman, sure. Alright, we'll play the Pious Wayfarer. Attack with Alcyon. Faster. Hope we see a red source sooner rather than later. Ugh. I'm guessing that takes the... yeah, it takes all the glitters, but... come on. Red source, red source. That's, without a doubt, the worst draw in our deck. I think we just hold on to it. Make our opponent think we might have something in hand. Ugh. Yeah, this has been rough. I had to mulligan twice into a really awful hand. Okay. Exile of Plains. Alright, we're gonna scoop it up. We not only mulliganed to Oblivion, we also drew absolutely nothing, so we were just not winning that game. Opponent does look like they're just on typical sort of Grixis control, so I don't think we bring in Banishing Lights. Maybe Red Cat Melee is worth bringing in against like the Nicol Boluses. I think we just run it back. Alright. Playing some Taranika Vindicator game 3, and okay, it's a little annoying that we don't have a creature to play until turn 3, but I don't know, maybe we should have mulliganed this hand. This is pretty weak to discard. If our opponent makes us discard or light up the stage, pretty bad. But we are on the play, so maybe this Taranika on turn 3 won't be that late. Oh, yeah. Didn't really want another all that glitters here. Alright. Duress. There goes our light up the stage, I'm sure. Well, at least we're playing Taranika next turn. There's a Vindicator. Play Taranika. Taranika plus Vindicator is very strong. Although our opponent's almost certainly going to have some sort of interaction, but... alright. We'll just attack. See if we've got something they want to do about this Taranika. Alright, we'll play Vindicator. I didn't want to just run out the All That Glitters into a removal spell there. And pass turn. So we are losing some mana efficiency here by not playing the All That Glitters, but I think that's better than, yeah, just running it into this Murder Strider, getting 2 for 1. Pretty clear they were holding up something there, so I think we'd rather play it the way we did. Well, we get to play out this other Taranika next turn, so that's something. Thief of Sanity, huh. Okay, I think here we Stalwart. Yeah, we'll just run out all that glitters on our Vindicator. Do as much damage as we can. I mean, if they do go like Nicol Bolas, kill our Vindicator, that's kind of sad here. But I still think we do it like this. I don't think there's anything they could find out of our deck that's going to be really bad against us. Nothing I can think of. I mean, again, we're not running like much interaction because we want to focus in on our combo as much as possible, so they could get like a creature here to block. But, okay. Their other 2 options were not very good. Pious Wayfarer and Babel Passage, so... okay, no Nicol Bolas this turn. That's good. That's good. They could still have removal for Swiftblade Vindicator, but no Nicol Bolas. A land wouldn't be too bad here, actually. We could go all that glitters plus... alright. Plus Taranika. Okay, just a Fairy Godmother, sure. Alright, so we're gonna do it. Taranika. All that glitters on our Stalwart. Go to combat, attack with both, put a counter on our Vindicator, and, I mean, we've got a pretty sizable board here. That doesn't, oh, okay, and our opponent, our opponent's dead. Alright, this does have Double Strike, Vigilance, and Trample opponent, so our opponent was in pretty rough shape there regardless. I mean, this Taranika is going to be able to make our Vindicator a 4/4, So our Vindicator is going to be a 4/4 with a +1/+1 counter on it, so a 5/5, and with an all that glitters on it, so it was going to be a 7/7. So a 7/7 double striking trampler was going to be coming at him next turn anyway. So even though our opponent could have lived there if they had blocked differently, we still had them in pretty good. If they were just going to kill one of our threats, they were still pretty screwed there. So yeah, we took them down. Red-white Taranika Vindicator took down Grixis Control. Old Nicol Bolas. Sweet. Alright, playing some Taranika Vindicator against RB Cliet. And we'll keep this. We don't have anything to do on turn 1, but we do get to go Sun Home Starward into hero. And then if we put an Escape Velocity on one of those heroes to pump up the whole team, that's not bad. Yeah, we've got a Rimrock Knight too, so our plan is to go Stalwart, hero, and then Escape Velocity and Rimrock Knight on the 2 heroes to just pump our team by +2/+0 across the board. Seems not so bad. Okay, opponent is on opponent's on the food plan. If they have a turn 3, Devil here, that's concerning, just because we have no way to deal with it. And it will mow down our board. Yeah, that could really mess up our plans if they go land Devil here. Mire Triton. Okay, that's not so bad. Well, they did get the cat. That's not the best, but it's better than the Devil. So the Devil is the card we're gonna have a really hard time beating. So anything besides that, we're pretty okay with. All right, that stage isn't bad. Yeah, I'm gonna attack with Sun Home Stalwart. It can't really block because it has first strike. I mean, they could like bring back the cat, sack it, block with it and then sack. But if they're doing that, then they're kind of going down a food. So we're okay with that. Okay. Opponent either wants their Mire Triton in the graveyard or doesn't realize this has first strike. But either way, we're fine with that. Go to main phase 2. Hero of the Nyxborn. And next turn's pretty good. We can go Hero of the Nyxborn and Escape Velocity on that hero to give it haste and also pump our whole team. So just crossing our fingers they don't have that Devil. Oh, that Devil is so good, and we really don't have interaction main deck. We do have, we don't want to play interaction in this deck too much because we're kind of focused in on our combo. But it is bad when that's our plan, and cards like Mayhem Devil exist. Okay, this is really bad. So they get to 1, 2, 3. They get to just mow down our whole board. Brutal. Well, yeah, I think we just can't beat this Devil, actually. Do we even show them anything else? I don't think we can beat this. Yeah, we're gonna scoop here. Look, here, okay, here's the reason why we're gonna scoop. 1, they can sack this food to bring back their cat. That's 1. They can then sack the cat to make a food. That's 2. They can then sack the food to bring back the cat. That's 3. They can then sack this Fable Passage to get another. So that's 4 sacrifice triggers. That means they're gonna be able to mow down both of our 2/2s here. So there's just, we can't win. We don't have any way to kill this Devil, so they unfortunately did have the card that's really good against us in this matchup. They were able to find it early. But the positive sign is, the positive thing is that we have cards in our sideboard that should be able to help deal with this. Basically, we're just going to bring in anything that can interact with Devil, because everything else in their deck we don't really care about. Everything else in their deck we can just beat, but the Devil we cannot. So we're going to go up the Red Cat melees, go up the Banishing Lights. We're actually going to go up the Tibalt so they can't gain life off their cat. Go up the Justice Strikes, and go up. We're going to go up the Apostles too, so we just go up like basically everything. I'm going to go down the heroes, go down maybe the Escape Velocity, one of the All That Glitters, maybe 2 of the going down, both the heroes and the Escape Velocity means we're kind of running low on enchantments, so maybe we just go down all the glitters, and maybe in that case all the Pious Wayfarers too. Yeah, so we just kind of shift out of the enchantment theme strategy and move into this just super interactive plan to deal with those Devils. We'll play first. Yeah. I think we get a mulligan this. Okay, alright. You know, this isn't great, but we can Swiftblade Vindicator on turn 2, so start to get our strategy going that way. We'll go down, I think we actually go down one of the Vindicators. Apostle is pretty good because it can't get pinged by the Devil, and also most of our opponent's removal should bounce off the Apostle. So, Apostle Purifying Light's not bad. We do have a Red Cat melee to deal with the Devil. So we do have stuff going on in this hand, but we're going to need to draw some more action to make it really worth it. Yeah, I think we go up to play the Vindicator. The downside of playing like the Stalwart here is that they play like a cat. They can just sort of block it, but they can't really do that with Vindicator. Mire Triton. Okay, they can't block the Vindicator with Mire Tritons. That's good. Yeah, we'll just attack with a Vindicator. Opponent? Are they gonna? Okay, they're gonna do it again. They either just want these Mire Tritons in the graveyard, or they don't understand how Death Touch and Burst Strike interact. But we will play this tapped, pass turn. Alright, so if they just play a Devil here, we do have an answer to it. And we can start pumping up the Swiftblade Vindicator with our Sunhold Stalwart, so we're in pretty good shape, all things considered. Alright, there's a Calder Familiar. Sure. That can block our Stalwart. Ooh, and a Trail of Crumbs. Ugh. Yeah, I think we still attack, though. Just put as much pressure on as we can to stop the card draw off this Trail of Crumbs. You know, oh, wow. I just let it happen. Okay. Play Apostle. Play Sacred Foundry tapped. We don't want to draw any more lands. We have drawn... Oh, I should have played the land and tapped. That was a mistake on my part, because we could have... yeah, we could have eaten the Cauldron Familiar out of the graveyard, potentially. So, if they have an oven here, I'm going to feel really stupid about playing that Apostle Purifying Light, or playing that land tapped. Midnight Reaper, okay. That's fine. Oven's the one thing that's really bad for us here. Although even Oven's not the worst, right? Because we can, they don't really have the mana to draw a bunch of cards off the Trail of Crumbs at least, right? So that's something. Okay, there's the Oven. We still do have the mana. Now we're going to have the mana to Ether Cat out of the graveyard with Apostle, so that's something. Oh my gosh, we've drawn a lot of lands. Alright, go to combat. Attack with everything. They don't have good blocks here, which is good. Okay, but it's got trample, so... yeah. Sure. Get to draw a card, take 1 point of damage, but they're taking a lot of damage to the face here, so... I mean... we're not in the worst shape. Down to 5, and we're just going to leave up our mana to eat this cat. We've got enough mana to eat it twice, so if they try to bring it back with both these foods, we get to eat it. Mayhem Devil, okay. So they do get to kill our Vindicator here. There's nothing we can really do about it. You know what? Maybe we should have tried to eat the cat out of the graveyard before the Mayhem Devil came down. Alright, we are gonna melee the Mayhem. Yeah, melee the Mayhem Devil. They do get to sack all this stuff in response, which is a little crappy, but... yeah. Yeah, I think I messed up. Yeah, we will... eat the cat. Yeah, I should have when this devil was on the stack, I should have started eating the cat out of the graveyard. At least they're only going to get kill one creature with this Mayhem Devil, so it's not the end of the world. But they do get to sack the Mayhem Devil here to Witch's Oven. Wow, they actually just let the cat get exiled. Sure. Huh. I guess maybe they want the Mayhem Devil in the graveyard for some reason. Maybe there's something they can... Alright, they did get another cat on top, sure. Yep, so they kill the Vindicator. That's fine. Their Mayhem Devil dies. Or I guess they sack it and make a food. Either way. Fine, huh. I don't know, I think our opponent should have sacked it there. I don't really know why they... Oh my god, we have drawn literally all lands. Kind of unfortunate. At least our opponent doesn't have good blocks here. They do have to block a Midnight Reaper, which just dies. To draw a card, sure. We get him down to 1. I'm just gonna hold on to the lands, make our opponent think we have something in hand. Jeez. Yeah, I think we've drawn actually all lands, which is obviously not where we want to be. We do get to stop the cat combo. Okay, Mayhem Devil, sure. Okay. I think Apostle just had him dead here, though, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we just win. Apostle can't get killed by the Mayhem Devil and also can't get blocked, so by either of these creatures, so we just win. Okay. Well, we managed to win after drawing literally only lands. So, that's pretty nice. Yeah, an opponent dies. Alright. Alright. So, our sideboard did work out there. Pretty much the interaction we were able to have for their Mayhem Devils and this Apostle being kind of untouchable for their strategy was all very good. I think we just run it back the way we have it with all our interaction, and hope things work out like that again. Alright, final game against RBC Client, or RB Client, I don't know what their name is, but we will... I actually meant to keep that, but okay. I was too focused on trying to read their name. Actually, I guess we go down to Taranika. I guess we're all in on this... Oh man, this is significantly worse hand than we had, I think, in our opening hand, but at least we didn't mulligan into something unplayable. Okay, Light Up the Stage makes this a lot better. It also means I'm just going to play this Fairy Guide Mother as a 1-1. I think next turn we go Stalwart, so we can start putting counters on our Fairy Guide Mother. Agonizing Remorse, okay. That's probably going after our Stalwart, I imagine. Unless they just, I think they can deal with it and they just want to get rid of the Light Up the Stage to deal with the card advantage. That could also happen. Alright, they do take the Light Up the Stage, so that's a little concerning because it means they think they can deal with Stalwart. And Light Up the Sage was definitely the best card in our hand. Alright, let's see if they've got what they got on turn 3 here. If they play a Devil, hopefully we top deck removal to it. Timoret calls it that, huh? Okay. Making some zombies. Okay. I guess we just give to the Fae Stalwart. Attack for 5. Play Guide Mother. At least we got a counter on our Guide Mother now. So, well, they get to make another zombie. We got a counter on our Guide Mother now, so if they do play the Devil, we have some cushion. They have to spend 2 pings on killing our Guide Mother instead of just 1. It's not a good place to be either way, but... Okay, Meyer Triton. And a Witch's Oven. Okay, I mean, all things considered, this isn't... They don't have, like, the cards that are super good against us, right? So... yeah. We're okay with this. Ugh, land isn't what we wanted to see, but we will attack with everything. Put a counter on our Guide Mother. They still don't have good blocks, but they know about the both these Rimrock Knights, so probably can't blow them out with them, but they still don't have good blocks here. Yeah, sure. Yep. Alright, so we are going to have to... We'll do this first, but we're going to have to spend all of our Rimrock Knights just killing our opponent's creatures here. But I mean, I guess not the worst thing in the world, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to do it. We could have potentially just put a bunch of damage in the air with the Rimrock Knights, you know. Hit our opponent for 2 more here, hit them for 8, but I think we'd rather just clear their board. Because that not only clears all the zombies off their board, it also, this gain X life and scry X, where X is the number of zombies you control, means that that's 0 now. So, that was my thinking at least. We'll see if it comes back to bite us. We'll have to keep in mind that our opponent would be at, let's see, they would have scryed 2 there if we hadn't done that. Scry 2 and gain 2 life. Okay. These aren't really great against us. Oh my god. We have a penchant for drawing a bunch of lands in a row with this deck. Okay, just attack with everything. I mean, we can go double Rimrock Knight here, so we're putting a lot of pressure on board. We're still in bad shape against the Devil, though. Being able to go Devil, crack Fable Passage, kill Rimrock Knight, crack a food, gain 3 life, kill the other Rimrock Knight, that's really bad. Opponent at least does not get to draw 2. Because their Midnight Reaper died to a creature with the first strike, they don't get a draw or kill the goose. So we just put as much pressure on the board as we got here. If they go, hopefully they don't play a Devil here. Devil is... Okay. Kill the goose. Might keep him alive. Oh my god. Okay. They did draw a Devil. That is so brutal. Ugh. Okay, so they can ping. They can ping twice here, kill both of our Rimrock. Okay, that's a pretty good draw. I think we do just get in with everything except the Stalwart. Let's see. So if they do this, they ping, block. Yeah, we can't kill him this turn if we attack with everything. So we'll attack with everything except the Stalwart. We should get through some damage this way, which means we can light up the stage. Yep. We get to kill one of the Rimrock Knights. Sure. Then I imagine they'll chump with a Gilded Goose, sack it to Witch's Oven, use the other ping to kill the Rimrock Knight. All good stuff, but we do get through some damage regardless, which means this light up the stage should be pretty good. I guess, maybe we should have light up the stage pre-combat so that we could see if we got removal for the Mayhem Devil. And if we did, then they couldn't do this right here where they're chumping and also sacking to save some life. And also that means we would have been able to get in with the Sunhome Stalwart. Yeah, I was trying to get max value out of it in terms of mana, but maybe it was better to do it that way. Okay, I guess we don't really have an answer either way, but we will Azelid. We will Apostle. Problem is here, they can sack 2 foods, gain 6 life, and also kill a fairy. That's pretty bad. Alright, there's Fable Passage, sure. Hey, that's even worse, because that means they have 4 pings now. I guess that means if we... we can't even save it with this Azelid because that's a sacrifice trigger as well, so that will also trigger the Mayhem Devil. Mayhem Devil does indeed work for both players, so we can't save our fairies here. They're just gonna die, unfortunately. Oh, Red Cap melee. Huh. Maybe a turn too late. I think we still do it pre-combat. This makes them do everything now. They are gonna get to kill our Fairy Guide Mothers, but at least that means we get to attack with our Stalwart. So even though they gain a bunch of life here and they kill... I'm guessing they're going to kill both of our Fairy Guide Mothers as the kind of hardest to deal with threats. I guess potentially they could go after, like, our Stalwart. I don't know. They can't hit the Apostle. That's... Yeah, okay. So they're probably just going to kill both our Fairy Guide Mothers here. Yep, and our opponent scoops it up. They weren't actually dead there because they were going to gain some life off the foods, but I think they were in a position where we were going to have an Azelid, we were going to have a Stalwart, and we were going to have this creature that they can't really kill with any of their removal. So we were probably going to get them here. We were going to get in for 6 this turn, so even though they gained 6 life, they were going to be back down to 5. So All right, we took down Jund Food, even though they have a really good card against us, the Mayhem Devil. We were able to sideboard pretty well and deal with it, and yeah, took it down. Sweet. All right, playing some Taranika Vindicator against Voice of Serenity, and we will keep this. This is actually not a bad hand. We can go Pious Wayfarer into Vindicator, and then potentially turn 3 you can go another Wayfarer, Escape Velocity on our Vindicator, and just hit for a truckload of damage. We'll see what our opponent's doing. We might not want to quite commit that much, but okay. Yeah, I guess we attack. Play Vindicator. Pass turn. I mean, I think that's probably what we do next turn if we, depending on what our opponent does here. Green-white. First Heroan games, huh? Okay. Okay, now we have 3 mana, so let's think about this. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is play a little more. Instead of just going all in on our Vindicator, because they could have removal for it. What we're gonna do is kind of split up our threats a bit more. We are going to power up the Vindicator, go to combat, put a counter on the Vindicator. So now this is a 3/3. I mean, it's still getting in for a lot of damage. Not quite as much as if we did just like Escape Velocity plus Fairy Guide Mother on it, but it does put us in a better position if they untap and like use like a 3-mana exile target creature spell or something. And we do. I mean, they chumped, so we made them lose their counters there. So that's really, they're playing a Shatter the Sky in their first Heroan game stack. Well, I didn't expect that. So Pious Wayfarer, Ginger Brute, and attack. Pass turn. Well, this first Heroan game has looked pretty awful at least. So okay, Conclave Cavalier. I guess that works pretty well with Shadow the Sky, doesn't it? Alright, yeah. I guess we do it. Just start going all in on this Ginger Brute. Make it unblockable. Get him for 4. Pass turn. I mean, with Fairy Guide Mother, we can make this unblockable and also Ginger Brute, so we're getting pretty close to killing them here. No blocks. Oh, Cavalier, okay. Well, let's get a 3/3 out of the deal. Oh, Taranika's good. Okay, so we will Taranika. That should be enough, hopefully, to let us win the game next turn, because we can Taranika, give it flying. No blocks. It doesn't make, yeah, it makes them with Vigilance, not Lifelink. Alright. So hopefully they don't have something even better than Cavalier of Dawn to deal with this Taranika. Oh, come on. Wow. Well, if we were able to untap with Taranika there, we would have undoubtedly won the game, but we did not, unfortunately. I don't think we block. Dang. Yeah, that's rough. Okay. Do we got game here? So 1, 2. Okay, yeah, we did end up getting game anyway, unless they have some instant speed interaction. Oh! Oh, the auto tapper tapped us out of red. Oh my god. Well, my god. Well, we may lose because of that, and we're not even going to have the mana to do it next turn because of Elspeth Conqueror's death. My god. Well, yeah, we are going to block the Cavalier. Take 4. Hopefully we can still win this turn. Hopefully. We should have won last turn. Okay, Cavalier doesn't change anything. Okay. So now we can +2/+0 on our Guide Mother and kill him that way. Whew. We almost lost the auto tapper there. We got really really close to losing to the auto tapper. My god. Oof. It wanted to leave us 1 white mana open so we could play out the Fairy Guide Mother. Like, I understand why it tapped like it did, but oof, it was not good. Alright, so we beat this kind of interesting. I think it's the idea behind this deck is basically to have a creature deck that can main deck Shatter the Sky, the 4 mana Wrath. All their creatures have 4 power and also do something when they wrath, right? So that's a little inconvenient for us because we are definitely not super resilient against wrath. So I think we go up the Unchained Berserkers. What can we even do? Is there anything we can do? I don't think so. I think we just go up the Unchained Berserkers and try to fight through the wraths is the best we can do. Probably want to go down like a Taranika and a hero and run it like that. Alright, game 2 against Voice of Serenity on a pretty cool green-white, like, creatures, but also I get to play Wrath of God deck. Ugh. This is a pretty stinky hand, but I guess we keep it. I mean, most draws are good with this hand, right? Like, if we draw a red land, we can Swiftblade Vindicator. If we draw anything like a Taranika, that's pretty good. The only bad draws in this hand are other red spells. But I think we're more likely to draw a red land than draw a red spell. And our opponent did have to mulligan twice. Okay, well now a red land is very, very good with this hand, right? Let's look at it that way. We draw one mountain, one Fable Passage. Oh, Bronze-Eyes Lion, okay. Oh my god. Okay. Bump the Wayfarer. Yeah, we should have, I mean, probably should have mulliganed. Well, I mean, we did have the chance because we're going second. We got to know if our opponent mulliganed or not, and we did see that they mulliganed, so we probably should have just said they're mulliganing. Let's, okay. Yeah, we will Fable Passage. Crack it. Go and get a mountain. And just pass the turn. No attacks. We get to play Swiftblade Vindicator next turn, which is nice. That can pretty effectively get through this Bronze-Eyes Lion if we... At least in terms of damage for Light Up the Stage. Oh my gosh, okay. Well, the one bad thing we could draw with this hand is a bunch of planes, and we have found a way to do it. No attacks. We're probably just going to have to use Azalea to give this Swiftblade Vindicator protection from white, and swing in past this Bronze-Eyed Lion next turn, just so we can start drawing cards. Alright, our opponent is kind of ramping. More just sort of like artificially hitting their land drops. Yeah, now we're definitely going to do it. So, give the Swiftblade Vindicator protection from... I guess green? Yeah, I mean, they could maybe be running like a green flash creature, so... We'll attack. Alright, now we get to light up the stage. Hopefully hit another... If we hit another red source, that's pretty nice, because we can play that, play the other light up the stage. Well, okay. We will play the Stalwart. And play a Plains. And pass turn. Next turn we can Fairy Guide Mother to give the Swiftblade Vindicator flying, so that's something. It's a lot of damage too. I mean, 3 power double striking in the air. That'll get him down to 9. Knight of Autumn, okay. Let's see what they choose to do with it. Do we want to sack this for any reason? I mean, I guess, why not, right? We'll sack this, give her protection from white. Just in case they go, like, land, O-ring, or whatever the card is called. Alright. Here we'll just Fairy Guide Mother, or Vindicator. This Bronze-Eyed Lion is locking down the ground pretty well. Being able to make itself indestructible is less than ideal. But these Light Up the Stages are showing their worth here. Digging us out of this kind of awkward draw we had. Alright, and we'll play a Mountain, play Vindicator, play Guide Mother. We're getting sort of a attacking force in the air here. Next turn we'll be able to Guide Mother up another Vindicator, play her out, and then we got, I mean, a couple Guide Mothers in the air to finish things off, hopefully. I'm guessing that means a Wrath is coming. So, given that there will be a Wrath, let's see, how much mana do they have? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so they can... Okay, but they can't make this indestructible and also Wrath unless they have a white source, so I think we forced them to do that. Yeah, we will block and block. Force them to make it indestructible. And, yeah, block with one of the Vindicators. So I imagine a Wrath's happening here, but they can't go, like, make this indestructible and also Wrath, unless... because they only have 2 white sources. So they need to specifically have a Plains in hand to be able to save the Bronze-Eyed Lion. Okay. They don't. That's good. Alright, so at least we are going to get Wrath here, but at least we cleared off their board. Make sure this Bronze-Eyed Lions can't come back. Yeah. Okay. That's a little unfortunate. Yeah, I think we do just play Fairy Guide Mother. It's going to take a long time for a 1-1 to get there, but I mean, we have so many pump spells. I think it's better to run out a creature, even if it's not a particularly good one. Here comes some Realm Cloak Giant, sure. Alright, get in for 1. Play Stalwart. We'll probably just suicide this Stalwart in next turn, just to put a counter on this Fairy Guide Mother. And hit us for 7. Sure. No blocks. It's not good. Oh man, in the first Heroine games. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Yeah, we are just gonna suicide it in. Put a counter on Fairy Guide Mother. Give ourselves a 4-turn clock. Our opponent is gonna kill us a lot faster than 4 turns, but I think this is our best shot. Maybe. Pious Wayfarer. And pass turn. Plan on blocking this Realm Cloak Giant. The problem is they can make... yeah, they can diversify their threats here, so... just chumping this Realm Cloak isn't going to save us. Gonna need something pretty incredible not to die here. We can get him down to 2. And then die. Yeah, I mean, we can Fairy Guide Mother, pump this thing to 4 power, hit him down to 2, and then play out the Fairy Guide Mother to block, but it... you know, we still take 8 damage between these two, so... yeah, we're dead. We will scoop it up. Unfortunate. If we had drawn just like a 1 less land there, we'd probably be in good shape. Maybe we played into the Wrath a little too hard, too. Like, maybe we had a diverse enough board that we shouldn't have played the Fairy we had in Exile. We were kind of in a position where they wanted to Wrath anyway, so by playing that Fairy, we just gave ourselves even worse of a comeback afterwards. I don't know. It's hard to say. I do like our opponent's deck, though. It's a pretty interesting idea. Kind of making a creature deck that benefits off your own Wraths. Because usually that's not a great idea, but specifically with Shadow the Sky, it already is sort of built for that, you know, where if you have 4-power creatures, you do get to draw off of it. Kind of helps you break the symmetry a bit. Anyway, do we want Justice Strike? Justice Strike does kill the... I guess we bring in the Justice Strikes. Go down one of the heroes. Go down one of the All That Glitters. Run it like that. Alright, last game here. We will play first. Yeah, we'll keep this. We do have just a lot of card draw with this hand. We'll go Pious Wayfarer. We can Pious Wayfarer, light up the stage, light up the stage. I mean, that's... drawing 4 in a red-white deck. That's about as good as you get. We will light up the stage. Yeah. Yeah. We'll play Aeslead here. If we lose, the Fabled Passage is not the end of the world, right? Because we basically already have enough lands for our deck anyway, right? With these 4. So we would like to get the Fabled Passage, but if we can't, ah well. Earth and Meletus, sure. Alright, attack. Light up the stage. Alright, we will Fabled Passage. And pass turn. Next turn we can plains, escape velocity, and all that glitters. Not bad. Night of Autumn. Okay. Well, there goes our Aeslead. That kind of sucks because it does put us down an enchantment for our all that glitters. Go get a white source. We've got enough mountains here. Just drawn a little bit too many lands. Okay. Yeah, we will plains Pious Wayfarer. All that glitters on our one without haste, or one without summoning sickness. Pump it up. Pump it up. And let's see if we put escape velocity and pump it twice. Yeah. Put escape velocity on our Pious Wayfarer. Pump it up. Pump it up. And I mean, we have a lot of damage here. We don't have anything else going on next turn, which is a little unfortunate, but I mean, if our opponent just chumps. The worst thing they could do is Wrath, which, I mean, they have shown that they kind of have probably 8 Wraths in their deck, so not super unlikely that they Wrath here, but maybe just play the best of our ability. We don't even get to draw a card if they Wrath. Maybe that was a reason to put escape velocity on the other Pious Wayfarer. Yeah. Yeah, that might have been just to try to play around the Wrath. I mean, the way we did it, it makes it so... yeah, it makes it so this isn't as good. If they have a single removal spell, we at least still have a creature that's been pumped. But, I mean, even a 2/2 is not going to do much against this 0/4. Yeah, I just threw a little bit too many lands here. We will dig a land out of our deck. Try to stem the bleeding a bit, but... sure, we'll attack. Well, I mean, they get a free block, but we can at least, if we don't attack now, we're kind of broadcasting that when we do attack in the future, we'll have a pump spell. So, we should always attack, I think. Attack. Alright, play Vindicator. Next turn. Yeah, our opponent making 1/1s is actually pretty good, because even 2 1/1s can block this Vindicator if we don't have a pump spell. So we're not going to be able to just attack freely. Yeah. I don't think we run in our Vindicator here into a couple of 1/1s and then Justice Strike to get a 1/1 out of the way. Yeah, we have just drawn a hell of a lot of lands here, unfortunately. We are a 21 land deck, so we shouldn't draw this many lands, but it'll happen occasionally. Alright, opponent is going to Wrath. That's fine. We do have an answer to the Giant himself, so... Okay, there's another Vindicator. And we do get to Vindicator, escape velocity, the Vindicator, exile, whatever. Just 2 lands is fine. Get him for 4. And pass turn. If they just go Giant here, we can kill it with Justice Strike. Okay. There's a Giant. Hopefully that's all they got. Alright, we will Justice Strike the Giant. Come on, pumps. Okay. Get in with Swiftblade Vindicator. I think we do. If they have a Wrath, we are again in a position where we don't have an actual 4-power creature, which means a Wrath is going to just mess us up severely. But I think we do still play the Unchained Berserker because it means a pump spell next turn is lethal. So I think we do it. Please don't Wrath us, please. Alright. Okay. Hopefully draw a creature off the top here. No more lands. We're onside the Lion, okay. Elseid is not great. Not really worth even giving it the escape velocity here, so we'll just pass. Yeah, Maybe we should have played... I don't know. I mean, if we didn't play the Unchained Berserker there, then Bronzehide Lion pretty much locks down our attacker, right? Because they can give it indestructible, so they wouldn't have to Wrath. Maybe they would have Wrathed anyway. Heliod. Okay. I haven't seen much life gain in their deck, but I mean, giving their... Maybe they brought it into the sideboard against aggressive decks, because being able to give their Realm Cloak Giant lifelink seems pretty good. And we drew another land, so I think that's gonna... Yeah, we can't win here because what they'll do is they'll use Heliod to give their creatures lifelink, and then they just gain too much life for us to win. So close game, but we just kind of flooded out a bit, unfortunately. We got pretty close to winning. Yep, so we're just gonna scoop it up. A cool deck from our opponent, a pretty interesting deck, sort of like a green-white creature deck that uses main deck Wraths and benefits off them. I actually really like that idea of a deck. Very, very inventive. I haven't seen it before, and we just kind of narrowly lost there. But anyway, cool deck, good game. All right, sweet. All right, so Taranika Vindicator was a pretty fun deck to play. It definitely had those combo moments that are just so much fun with Swiftblade Vindicator, where you can like attack with a Taranika, attack with Swiftblade Vindicator, and just deal a ton of damage to your opponent out of nowhere. We had that one turn where we attacked for 20 with a Swiftblade Vindicator on like turn 4, so that was pretty amazing. So pretty much did everything I wanted it to do, and the deck was just a lot of fun to play. A lot of a nice aggressive deck with a cool little combo package. So now we're going to talk about potential upgrades you can make to the deck. Rares and mythics you can slot in if you already have them, or if you want to spend some more wild cards to power up the deck a bit. So I think one of the most powerful ways you could power up this deck is to have some cards that are both threats and also interaction. This deck did lack a little bit on interaction because most pieces of interaction we would want to run in this deck are rare cards. So we just sort of went, hey, you know what, we're just going to do what we're going to do, and if our opponent has something we need to interact with, well hopefully we can get that out of our sideboard, right? That's sort of how we approach this, and it did leave us sometimes feeling a little bit like, well, we don't really have a way to answer what our opponent's doing in our main deck. So having cards, the two cards in particular I want to talk about are Giant Killer. This is a great way. You could maybe just replace the sort of enchantment package with Pious Wayfarer. Maybe look at it something else to do besides all that glitters, and bring in these Giant Killers to replace Pious Wayfarer. Giant Killer has a lot of the same great applications as Pious Wayfarer. It is a great one-mana body that we can start pumping up with like Sunhome Stalwart, and also it has, you know, removal with Chop Down, its adventure ability, and also the ability to tap down a creature. You know, pay 2 mana, tap something down is actually pretty good in our deck because we can get a good blocker out of the way of our Taranika. We can get a good blocker out of the way of our Swiftblade Vindicator. We can kind of set up turns where we're more likely to kill our opponent, or at least we can attack with our Taranika without losing it to some good blocker, you know? So I do think Giant Killer has a lot of power in our deck. And also, the other card is Bone Crusher Giant. Bone Crusher Giant is a great interactive spell early in the game, and then we can use it to be a threat later in the game. So if we were to bring in like 4 copies of Giant Killer and 4 copies of Bone Crusher Giant, I think we could just maybe go down the whole enchantment strategy, go down the Pious Wayfarers, go down to all that glitters, go down the Heroes the Nyxborn, and try to just focus in more on you know, the pump spells being Rimrock Knights and Fairy Guide Mothers for Swiftblade Vindicators plus Taranikas, and just run on just having more powerful, more, you know, more jam-packed cards that can do more on their face rather than sort of, you know, putting a kind of combo-y enchantment package into our already combo deck is maybe a little bit too much. If you have these adventure rares at your disposal, maybe look into trying a version of the deck where maybe this whole enchantment package is replaced by these just kind of better on their face rare cards. Another good inclusion in this deck would be Tithe Taker. Tithe Taker is great because it is just a resilient threat, taxing our opponent's removal on our turn, making them maybe have to play on their turn when they would otherwise, you know, hold up a removal spell and kill something at the end of our turn is pretty nice. And also just being a 2-1 with Afterlife 1 means it's a pretty resilient threat. And importantly, that Afterlife 1, you know, usually you just get a 1-1 flyer out of it. It's like, that's okay, but not great. But with Taranika in specific, we can turn that 1-1 flyer into a 4-4 flyer every turn. And it makes, and Tithe Taker is already a pretty playable card, so having that extra benefit of being able to like put counters on that Spirit token with some Sunhome Stalwart, or powering it up to a 4-4 with Taranika, I think puts it over the edge. And also, light up the stage. You know, having an evasive attacker to light up the stage is also good. So I think Tithe Taker would be pretty good in our deck. And 2 more rares that would be interesting to try in the deck would be Krinko, 10th Street Kingpin, and Legion Warboss. Krinko can really benefit off of our Taranika and also our pump spells, you know, being able to get a, you know, if we just imagine we attack with him in a Taranika, he becomes indestructible and he makes 5 1-1 goblins. That's pretty strong. And also, you know, we can also benefit off of like our Rimrock Knights and our Fairy Guide Mothers with Krinko. I almost ran 1 copy of Krinko in our deck, but I figured if we could keep it down to 7 rares, we might as well. And Legion Warboss, you know, Mentor is just kind of good with our pump strategy ability, and can kind of just run away with the game on its own sometimes. If you play Legion Warboss and your opponent doesn't have an answer, and it's able to just sort of be an army and a cannon, generate a lot of damage and a lot of bodies across the board, it can be pretty good. So on its face, it's just a pretty good card. Better than Krenko on its face, definitely, but Krenko does have the extra, you know, we do get some benefits out of Mentor from boosting its power, but Krenko can kind of just go crazy, you know. If we do go, like, attack, untap him with Taranika, give him 4 power, also, you know, Rimrock Knight, and get him up to, like, some ungodly power total, and then he makes that many 1/1 goblins. That's a pretty interesting turn. So Krenko would be something I would try mostly for fun. It is a little rough having another 3-drop in this deck, so maybe you would just want to drop the hero in the next Borns and replace them with Krenko, something like that. But this is a pretty aggressive deck, so I think you want to limit how many 3-drops you have. Not that Light Up the Stage is really a 3-drop, it's more of a 1-drop, but just something to keep in mind, that if you do go up these 3-drop spells, you probably want to look into going down like a hero the hero of the next Borns or something. And lastly, we've got the castles. Castles are great to slot into this deck. It's a little bit awkward because I think Castle Embereth is definitely the stronger of the castles to run in our deck. You know, we have a lot of benefits for that. Being able to pump our Swiftblade Vindicator with a land, pretty nice. Being able to pump our Gingerbrute so we can make it unblockable as a 2-power creature is pretty nice. You know, there's a lot of benefits we have to pumping power in this deck already, so having it tied to a land is really nice. But we are, at least as of now, a primarily white-focused deck. We're kind of lightly splashing red, right? We're definitely much more focused in white, and so that means it's a little difficult to run Castle Embereth, because you really don't want, you know, in an aggressive deck you want as few tap lands as you can get away with, so bringing in a kind of another potentially tap land with Castle Embereth is a little dangerous. But I mean, maybe you can rebuild the deck to be a little more red focused if you did want to focus in more on Castle Embereth. But as it is, you can definitely slot in like a Castle Ardenvale or two and just get some free value. You know, there was some games where we flooded out, and it would have been really nice to be able to be generating 1/1s that we could slap, you know, Auras on, or, you know, could go wide with Hero the next 4 or whatever. Turn those 1/1s into 4/4s. You know, we do have that ability to generate some more. You know, these aren't just 1/1s in our deck, essentially. We can use them to attack and trigger our Light Up the Stage. You know, we have a lot of different things we can do with the 1/1s, so Castle Ardenvale is definitely worth running in this deck, and I would probably just slot in like 2 right now into this current build. But then Castle Embereth, I do think, you know, its interaction with Swiftblade Vindicator does make me want to really try it in our deck. But definitely run Castle Ardenvale, and I almost would recommend not running Castle Embereth in this current build, just because you don't want another tap land potentially. But if you do rebuild it to be a little more easy on the red mana side, maybe a little more red focused, then I would look into Castle Embereth. I think it does have some good synergy with Swiftblade Vindicator that's worth looking into. So anyway, that's going to wrap up Taranika Vindicator. Deck was a lot of fun. I really like the kind of combo aspect of it. A lot of times aggressive decks aren't super interesting to me, so having a sort of you win the game, hit your opponent for 1,000,000 damage out of nowhere sort of combo tied into it is pretty fun. So that's going to wrap up Arena on a Budget.